The two biggest awards out there is AOLP, Association of Outdoor Lighting Professional, and the LIT Awards. There's other categories, but for landscape lighting and outdoor lighting, those are two of the bigger ones that are out there. One's North American based, the other is international. The North American based, the last one had about 200 different people represented, designers mainly focused. And I love that one because it's peers. It's a lot of different lighting designers judging each other's work. Any industry, there's always an association and they recognize people who are really performing at high level. That's one that we've looked at as entering some of our projects each year into the AOLP Awards. I started working with AOLP about 9 years ago. We began as a sponsor, and so I do both the sponsorship level and as an attendee. So I get a lot out of it from my Dayloom side, for our business running day-to-day operations, really focusing on design, but also on the manufacturing side, we sponsor it, which is one of the big supports of the entire organization is the sponsorship. The designs that we looked at 10 years ago versus the designs that are being produced today, you've seen a natural progression where designers are becoming more artists. So the designs are continuing to evolve, continue to get better. Tools are getting better, so it's really a time for the industry to come together and look at it, both talking to manufacturers and talking to designers to see how the two can come together to build better products and build better designs. I see a lot of growth coming out of Canada, so we're really seeing more and more people that are focusing on artistic, beautiful lighting design and doing it responsibly. To earn an award is a great accreditation. It really solidifies, those who claim I'm a great lighting designer. There's a number of ways to look at it. Obviously, customers that are willing to purchase it is one indication. But when you have other lighting designers who see your work and see what you're able to accomplish and they vote on your project as one of the best projects, really is something that is helpful. And really right from the beginning, AOLP started design awards. And I think you see it, architects do it all the time. Something that gets me excited to just compete. I'm naturally competitive, it's just my nature. And it's wonderful to be recognized and say this project that I saw, that I was able to see the vision, create the vision, convince a customer to say, trust me on this a little bit and I'll create something magical. And then to enter it in and it gets recognized in the industry is just a wonderful accomplishment. And you've seen a lot of really great designers that have really up to their lighting design because of the competition. We have won 8 awards at Dayloom with AOLP. And going back to my first award, it was something that validated, in my mind, I thought I was a great lighting designer. Grown a lot since that time, but in my mind I thought I was a really good lighting designer. And to get that affirmation and get other people that understand what we're doing to look at it and say, you actually did a great job here, is something that is just a confidence builder and allows me to really continue to pursue. Sometimes there's been projects that we haven't won an award and I start looking at it like, what would I do different? So our first project was in Gainesville. It was a project that took about 3 years from design to installation. The home was being built. Customer wanted everything done at the highest level and gave us total artistic freedom. And we created some amazing scenes on that project. The first one we won for our 2025 awards was this project here. So this was in an outdoor living category. This project really was a special one for us. So Virginia's unique. The history we have in the state of Virginia is unlike most other states. So the Carlyle House actually predated America. Before our Constitutional Congress even came about, this was a house that many of the lords from England would come and meet at the Carlyle House in Alexandria, Virginia. And so anytime we're working on a project that goes back into the 1740s, 1750s, anytime we work on a project that is so historical in nature, that really was foundational to our country, because even after the British officials met, our Constitutional Congress would meet sometimes in the Carlyle home. It was just a beautiful estate home in Old Town Alexandria. It was special to us. And Andy Shoemate was the lead design on this. And it's also one of the points of pride that I have is, as a lighting designer, often we almost get stuck in the industry at one point because we have a vision and we could see something happening, but it's hard to teach that skill set. Andy's been with me almost 15 years now. This is one that he took the lead on, and I was really excited about this project because of the historical nature on it, but let him lead on the entire thing. The next award we received was the Award of Excellence. So that's the highest level award in this category. This is a great project here. So this is the Barnes of Wolf Trap, and this project was actually not only won the #1 award in commercial lighting, but it was also the runner-up for North America's Project of the Year. That's a really high honor. It was close. My good friend who was using our products, Chris Applestott, actually got first place and did a phenomenal lighting project, but this was the runner-up and #1 in its category for commercial lighting, which is fun for me because a lot of times people don't think about landscape lighting and outdoor lighting on commercial. They just take big glare bombs, blast the building, and they don't bring out the softness, the architecture, and then incorporate the landscaping into it. What was fun about this project is the Barnes of Wolf Trap is an iconic institution in Northern Virginia. Everybody knows about this location. Everybody's been to Wolf Trap. It's a great concert venue. What was challenging about it is the client wanted to have, they didn't want any scallops. So a lot of times when you put a light that's going to project up, you get a scallop at the bottom. And he said, I want you to come up with a solution that you don't have scallops, that it looks even at the bottom and even at the top. And that's very challenging on the lighting design to have a product that does that. I believe this project got such acclamation is because it's impossible to do right now. We actually had to invent a product for this project. So I leaned on my Sterling engineer team and I'm like, I've got this project, I really want it, but I'm going to ask you to do something that nobody's done at this point, taking a light and using it to give more of a linear platform. So if you look down at the bottom, the light's very even and it goes all the way up the top. We're not having dissipation of light. We're not having to distract with downlighting. We saw that at AOLP. We saw just the number of lighting designers that have really been turned on to understanding light quality and how it affects the overall look and feel of the project. And that's why at a lot of the certification programs, Sterling Lighting was really the product everybody was selecting. You know, the innovation, the light quality, the durability, all of that's great, but any really good photographer, they could see a difference. You know, often it's said like, I can't see a difference between 82 CRI and 97 CRI. The camera never lies. So the camera actually will show how much better it looks, and that's why, you know, Sterling Lighting is really at the top of the game when it comes to light quality and light control, and that's why, you know, outside of a great design, using the right equipment makes all the difference. One source of, you know, I guess pride you'd say that I have, and one thing that I'm really just proud of is, you know, the team that we've built up. On the manufacturing side, we have a great group of people, real family in Sterling Lighting, and they have a passion for trying to make the best. They've caught the vision that we set out 13 years ago of, you know, we don't want to just make a product and sell a product. We want to make something that's special. On our design side is assembling a team of lighting designers. So, you know, with myself, I've been doing this 26 years. Josh Palmer has been with me 23 of those years. Andy Shoemate has been with me almost 15 years, and Ramon. So the four of us could sit down together and have meetings and look at projects. And there's always going to be budget constraints. Really having different perspectives from different lighting designers that we could go back and forth and bounce ideas off each other is very helpful. And that's one thing we try and do in all of our projects is have a meeting with our lighting design team. And that's unusual in our industry to actually have a group of people with an eye for lighting design that are going to collaborate together to try and produce the very best in lighting design. So there's a lot of excitement for me to see the vision that, you know, I came from really, you know, nothing in the industry, learning on my own out there at night, to now I think we have one of the best design teams out there, and we really want to push each other to the next level. And we really want to make a mark and a legacy in the industry. And to collaborate that with the product and the design side is just something that is special to me.